So that's right, The Incredibles has been out for 3 whole weeks here in the UK, and I'm still in major Pixar mode. So hello, and just welcome back to another video, guys. Today I've taken all of the 20 Pixar films, and I've ranked them from my least favourite to my favourite. Now, before we get started, I just want to say, at this point in time, we have 20 Pixar films. Incredibles 2 has just come out. So for people who are watching in the near future, or just the future in general, we don't have Toy Story 4 and whatever follows after that. So Toy Story 4 and whatever comes after that is not in this list. We're going up to Pixar's 20th film, which is The Incredibles 2. Also, I want to say, this is just my opinion, guys. You know, I'm not saying this is it, this is how it is. This is just my ranking. And to be honest, my ranking, you know, it changes all the time. Like, I wouldn't say, like, I'll probably look at this video in an hour and go, right, I'm already disagreeing with my choices. So just in the heat of the moment, I put a bit of thought into this. This is what I'm thinking right now for my ranking. Whereas, as I say, ask me in an hour, I'll probably say, well, I'll flip them two around already, I'm thinking. But anyway, so we're going to start off with my least favourite, my 20th favourite Pixar film, and we're going to go all the way to my very favourite Pixar film. So anyway, let's get started. So my least favourite Pixar film is, no surprise, it's Cars 2. Yeah, this film really didn't do much for me. I feel like the creators of Cars sat down and watched a bunch of James Bond and Mission Impossible films and then went, hey, why don't we make our next Cars film like that? And when you watch all three of the Cars film, this one really throws you off, because 1 and 3 kind of feel similar. They feel like they're in the same universe. This feels like it's its own separate thing. It's almost like a spin-off. But it isn't, because Lightning McQueen is in it. He is like the second main character after Mater. But it's just very average. Very average. It's a shame that Michael Caine was wasted on that Pixar film. And then speaking of Cars 3, that is my 19th favourite. Cars 3, I remember when the trailers dropped for this, I got so excited. I was like, oh my god, they might actually get a good Cars film out here. It looked intense. It looked like they'd put a lot of effort into the story. The animation looked a lot better than the previous two. But then it came out, and it proved that, again, it was just your very bog-standard, generic, very predictable film. I was watching it, and I was like, well, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, she's going to end up doing this, and blah, blah, blah. And what do you know, it all pretty much happened. It's one of the most forgettable... It probably is the most forgettable Pixar film. So yeah, Cars 3. Coming in at number 18 is Brave. A kind of forgettable one as well, but this is where the films kind of get good. This one's okay. This is a watchable film. Kind of ripping off Brother Bear, and it's not as good as Brother Bear, but it's okay. I like the voice acting in it. The animation in it's pretty good. It's just a pretty average watch. It's alright. It is what it is. Coming in at number 17 is a film which I was really excited for and very, very disappointed with, and that is The Good Dinosaur. I was so amazed to see that Pixar were doing a dinosaur film. I thought this was going to be great. I love dinosaurs, love Pixar. It's going to be a great combination. And it's an okay film. The problem I have with this film is the story is just very generic. The main character... Oh, I forget his name. Does it sound the back? Nope, it doesn't sound the back. The main character, Arnold. Look at that, got it last minute. Is such an unlikable main character. He's whiny, annoying. I mean, he gets better towards the end, of course. The little caveman boy is awesome in it, really good. The thing I have with this film is it's beautiful. The scenery is incredible. It's one of the most beautiful Pixar films. Potentially the most beautiful Pixar film in terms of scenery. But the dinosaurs themselves just don't look very good. They look like they're from the early 2000s. So it's a really weird film, The Good Dinosaur. Really weird film from Pixar. But it's alright. It doesn't deserve the hate it gets. But there's no need to go shouting about it at the same time. So 2019, 18, 17, 16. Yep, number 16 is going to Monsters University. Talking about kind of pointless sequels, this is one of them. But it's not really a sequel, it's a prequel. Did anyone want to know how Sully and Mike got their jobs? No, we just wanted to see them again do cool stuff. I just wanted to see that story carry on. But they gave us a prequel. It's an okay film. It's enjoyable. I can sit there and watch it quite happily. There's just bits at the end you keep thinking the film's going to end and it just doesn't. It just continues to just keep going and going and going. But it's fun to see the characters again. Some of them are really cool. But yeah. Number 15 is going to Finding Dory. Pretty much same feelings as I have for Monsters University in terms of a very, very pointless sequel. This one annoys me because I find a lot of the things that happen in this so ridiculous. I know it's a kids' film, I know it's an animated film, I know it's a film where fish are talking, but at the same time, at least Finding Nemo had some realism to it. This one got really, really, really far-fetched at times, like incredibly far-fetched. It was okay. I just didn't really think Dory was a good main character. It worked better when it was Marlin. And yeah, it's a shame that we didn't get some of the other characters back from the first one. I felt like this film was just missing something. I think it was just a lack of interesting characters. The new characters that come in to take over from the old ones just didn't hold up as well as the characters from the original. So coming in at number 14 is the first Cars film. Yeah, this is quite high for a Cars film. Most people just put all three of the Cars films bottom. Like, literally, it's normally Cars 2, Cars 3, and in this Cars film, like, all lining up at the bottom. Yeah, I have a little bit of a soft spot for this one because I grew up with this. I remember when it came out, you know, it kind of my childhood, along with, what's this, number 7? Pretty much the first, I'd say the first 11 Pixar films sum up my childhood pretty well. So yeah, I do have a soft spot for the first one. This is easily Pixar's weakest film from their 11-film classic streak, because I really feel like they had a classic streak up to Toy Story 3. This is easily the weakest thing. This is the one that is in the middle, where it just kind of doesn't belong in that group of 11. But it's enjoyable. The story is still, it's okay. The characters seem to have a lot more heart and are a lot more fun in this one. And it's just a lot more fun than the other two. It doesn't drag. It feels like there's a direction to that film, whereas the other two Cars films don't have that. Coming in at number 13 is Inside Out. So yeah, this was kind of Pixar's comeback after Brave and Monsters University and Cars 2. So it was good for them to finally come back with a good film. Not saying that the others weren't, but one that almost got them back to their level of, you know, classic streak. I wouldn't put this in the same level as those first 11 films, other than Cars, obviously. But it's a good film. I felt like people overrated it when it came out, because I think people were just shocked that Pixar had another really good film. But it's good. It's entertaining. There are certain bits in it which I love. There are certain bits in it which annoy me. Mainly, a couple of the characters annoy me. I don't think that Joy is the best lead. I don't like the actress who they picked to do the voice. She kind of annoys me. So that also dragged it down a bit for me. But it's a fun film. It's a good film, but it's not great. Okay, now we're kind of getting into the really good Pixar stuff. This is where it picks up again, I think. And I'm going to say for number 12... is A Bug's Life. Pixar's second film. This is what I had to follow Toy Story up with. They followed Toy Story up with this film. And did they do a good job? Yes. Toy Story is an incredibly hard film to follow up. As you can see, I haven't mentioned a single Toy Story film yet. And I haven't mentioned the first one. And it'll be a while before I mention the first one, because the first one's a classic. For that to be Pixar's first film is amazing. So they had to come out with something good afterwards. Obviously, this isn't as good as Toy Story, I don't think, but it does a very, very good job at keeping Pixar at that level where you know that they're going to continue to do great stuff. It's a really good film. I love all the characters in here. I really like the animation. I know it's starting to date a bit, but the animation in it is great. It's really unique in this film, I think. So yeah, I really enjoy this film. And then number 11 is the film which followed Bug's Life, and that's Toy Story 2. So yeah, Toy Story 2 is my least favourite of the Toy Story films, but as you can see, I still like it a lot. It's a really good film. In Pixar's first 10 films, this was the only sequel they done, which shows how good of a company Pixar used to be. It's great, it's unique, it takes you in a direction you don't think it's going to go. I love the role reversal. In the first film, it was about Woody trying to convince Buzz that he's a toy. And then in this film, you know, Woody becomes a bit of a snob and he thinks he's got to go off to an art gallery. And Buzz is trying to convince Woody that he's a toy, he needs to come home to Andy just to be played with. So it's a really good role reversal. I love the addition of Bullseye and Jessie. and Stinky Pete. So yeah. Also, we get to see Zurg in this one. Hopefully, we'll get to see him in the fourth one. I really want to see him again. Don't know why. Okay, number 10 isn't out on Blu-ray yet, so I just stuck around a Blu-ray in here to remind me. I put my one there. My number 10 is, of course, The Incredibles 2. Out in cinemas at the minute. Yeah, I've seen it twice. That's how much I like it. I mean, I've got an unlimited card for the Cineworld here, so I can literally just walk in as many times as I want. I normally end up seeing my favourite films a couple times now. And The Incredibles, I had to see it twice. It was so good. I loved how it opened, following straight on from the first film. Again, kind of the role reversal. The first film, it was Mr. Incredible going on all the missions. The new film, it's Elastigirl going on all the missions, which is really cool. The kids got a lot more attention in this one. It's funny, in the first film, I liked Mr. Incredible and Dash the most, whereas in this one, I kind of like Elastigirl and Violet the most. So it was really interesting. Of course, Jack's amazing in it. He's fantastic in this film. The villain was really good. I did clock on pretty quick who the villain was going to be, who was going to be under Screenslaver's mask. But I just found it so fun. I just love these incredible films. I think they're great. And I'm fingers crossed for another one. But coming in at number 9 is Toy Story 3. This is the most beautiful way they could have ended the trilogy. And they're doing a fourth one anyway. Shows you what kind of company Pixar's becoming. But anyway, hopefully it will still be good. I trust Pixar, so hopefully they won't let us down. But this was a brilliant way to end it. I know some people don't like it as much as the other two because they say it's a bit dark, but I think that's, what was intended. But it ends on such a bittersweet note. I love it. It's so fantastic. The story behind it is great. I love the characters. Lotso Hugging Bear, fantastic in it. I love this film. It's great. I really, really enjoy it. Fantastic film. So this is number 8, I believe. Yeah, number 8 is going to Up. I remember going to see Up with my grandparents in the cinema when it came out. I really, really enjoyed this film as well. It's very unique. I remember when I saw the trailers, I was like, House Balloons, really Pixar? We're going to go here now. But it works so well. It's a very weird, random film. It's a kind of artsy-fartsy film, but I love it for that at the same time. It has a lot of heart to it, a lot of depth. The characters work incredibly well. So yeah, Up. Really, really good film. Just solid, and there's a lot of heart in that film. And then maybe one of Pixar's most critically acclaimed films, Ratatouille. Ratatouille, I feel like, is the one from their winning 10 streak that kind of gets forgotten a little bit, which is a real shame. Because I don't think it went down quite as well with the kids, because there's not a talking toy, or there's not a car, or there's not a superhero. But nevertheless, I think this is a great film. I think it's amazing, in fact. The beautiful thing here is the animation. Like, when they show the food, it makes me hungry. There's a scene where he's eating a bit of cheese and then a grape, and the colours, and you can just tell by the expressions on the characters' faces, on Remy's face and his brother's face. It's just so good. It makes you hungry. I love the way the story goes. I love that, again, there's a bit of a bittersweet ending. I love it. It's great. The characters' motivations are there. The animation, this is one of the best animated films Pixar's done. It's just a beautiful film and I love it. Okay, so coming in at number 6, just missing out my top 5, is Coco. Yeah, the brand, this is like only been out for a couple months on Blu-ray. Pixar come back so strong with this film after Cars 3. I mean, this followed Cars 3 up. Can you believe it? I mean, Cars 3, my 19th favourite, and then this one come out straight after it. Incredible. I didn't know what to expect. The trailers didn't sell me on this. The trailers didn't sell many people, I don't believe. I think people just went because it was a Pixar film. But everyone was very pleasantly surprised. It's a beautiful film. Again, there are a couple little holes in this film where you could have a little dig at it, but I think this film works so well because it's just such a heartfelt film where you can tell the main character, Miguel, is just, he's torn between family and his passion. And at the end, it all kind of comes together. And at the end, I've watched this film many times now with many people, friends and family. And I've seen quite a few people sob at the end of this film, and I can't lie, I've nearly been there as well a few times. The ending is really, it really gets to you, but it's a beautiful film, Coco. Okay, number 5. This is where we're hitting my childhood. These next 5 films hit my childhood. Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. is just fantastic. I mean, you always sit there wondering, you know, when you're a kid, you see something move. Well, you think you see something moving and you're like, oh my god, there's something in here. And this film touches on that. In a comical way, so it doesn't scare you. But it's brilliant. I love it. I love how Pixar take these little ideas like this. Like toys. I wonder if the toys can talk. And then they turn it into these great films. It's a bit like you see something move. Well, now they're going to make a film on it. It's great. The characters are relatable. And I think it's really sweet at the end. How they've come to love something they were told to fear. I think it's fantastic. Number 4 is going to The Incredibles. This was my childhood, this film. Well, I keep saying that. I've said that about the last one. I'm going to say about the next 3 as well. I just remember sitting up nearly every night watching this for like months on end. It'd be the only film I watched for a couple months. It's great. I love it. You really feel the connection between this family. It's great. It's not like, oh, here we go. We've got a moody teenager. We've got a lippy teenager. We've got the dad who's, you know, huge. We're going to have the mum who's trying to keep everyone together. And then we've got the dumb baby. It's not like that. You can actually feel the connection between this family. They bounce off each other really well. The villain, Syndrome, is fantastic. I think he works really well. He's kind of like a Pixar version of Joffrey, where you just really actually kind of hate him because he's actually annoying. But he's great. Edna, fantastic in it. You know, when you see her on the back cover, just at the top there. Really solid film. I enjoy it. And it's funny, because when you look at all the superhero films that are coming out nowadays, in terms of Marvel, DC, and all the other little odds and sods that are coming out, I still hold The Incredibles probably up there in my top 5 superhero films. And it's not Marvel or DC. So, and the second one, not far behind probably. So, Pixar, you should keep making these incredible films. Obviously, you know how to do superhero films very well. So my number 3 is going to Pixar's very first film, and probably their all-time classic, Toy Story. I can't say much about this film that hasn't already been said. This is the all-time classic Pixar film. It's just great. What a way to come out the gates. So a guy at Disney, one of the producers, I believe, said he had an idea for this film. Disney didn't want to put it under their own name because they were a bit nervous of it. He gave him a script, a storyboard, and Disney originally turned it down. So within a couple days, he went home, redone the script, redone the storyboard, handed it into Disney, and they just greenlighted it straight away. And boom, this film went into production. And then they managed to get some big actors in to do voices as well, like Tom Hanks. Very impressive how this film got made, and very impressive how good it turned out. It's some of the best animation for its time. It's the best story. It's one of the best stories of its time. Easily the best animation of its time. It's fantastic. Fantastic film. Okay, so number 2 is going to WALL-E. Probably not the most rewatchable Pixar film, I'm not going to lie. But it's just probably the most groundbreaking Pixar film, I think. For a film to be silent, pretty much, as in no dialogue, for the first hour, and to hold the audience's attention as well as it does, and to hold kids' attention, because at the end of the day, this is a kids' film, is incredible. You'd never think a kid would be able to sit through this, but they do, and they love it. It's fantastic. WALL-E, for a character that has no dialogue, is one of Pixar's most relatable characters, one of the most entertaining characters, and one of the characters that you really feel for the most. By the end of the film, you're crying for him. You really are. It's a beautiful film. It's a beautiful storytelling. I adore this film to bits. It is pretty perfect. There's not any bad words I can say about this film. I think it is amazing. However, it is number 2. So there's another film that I feel very similar about to that one. As in, I think it's pretty perfect and I love it to bits. I believe this was my first cinema experience. I think. Finding Nemo. Wow. What a film. I absolutely adore Finding Nemo. It is just a classic. It's such an original, great story. I love every single character in this. Again, Dory, as I say, she annoyed me a bit in her own film. But the thing is with this one, she's a side character. She's not forced down your throat the whole time. She's much better there. She works so well. Marlin is a great protagonist. I love all the side characters from Gil to Bruce. Love Bruce. I can't remember the name of the pelican. Voiced by Geoffrey Rush. It is a pretty damn perfect film. It's just, it holds my attention from start to finish. There is nothing about it that I don't think works. It's just perfect. The soundtrack's great. The animation's great. I love it. Fantastic. Finding Nemo is my favourite Pixar film. So there we go. There's my least favourite to favourite of the 20 Pixar films we have at this moment in time. I hope you guys enjoyed my list. Please let me know down below what your list would be, or if you don't want to do all 20, because maybe you haven't seen all 20, maybe just do top 5 or top 10. I'd be really interested to see what your list looks like. But anyway, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button, like the video, leave a message, and I will see you guys next time for another video. Bye-bye.